This is the BinBok Play Ultra Pro controller, and yes, we have already taken a look at this in the past. However, they've now upgraded it because it's got Hall effect sensing joysticks, and that was one of my biggest criticisms, if not the only criticism of this controller before, and now they've fixed it. So let's take a look. Ba-ba! It now comes in white and it looks amazing. Like, this just looks lovely in white. Like, that is just so nice. It really is. And then in the box we also get some spare joystick caps. So we get two different ones. So you get the more sort of traditional styly ones with nothing in the middle just there, and then they've got like nice grippies on the sides. And the other thing is they are extra long ones as well. So the ones that actually come on the controller are like almost what I'd say are like GameCube themed because of the circles, right? But you can see if I pull this off, this is the one that comes pre-installed. That's a spare. You can see it's double length, so more accuracy because you can get bigger movement on it. And then my ultimate favorite is the double nubbin. So yes, you can rock the double nub, and I'm just gonna show you the double nub right away. So let's take these off. Let's stick the double nub on there. And I don't know why, but I love the double nubbin. For me, I almost feel like it's more accurate. I don't know why. There's like less space to put your thumb on, right? There's no like grip on them, they're just rubber, and yet I really like them. But some people like it like me, and if you wanted to rock like a different one, you could do. So you could have like an extra long one just here, so you've got a really long one, and then you've just got the nub, which is basically just a stem with like a rubber cap on the top, right? Or you can have like the original one and a nub, or whatever you want. They just pull on and off, like they're really cool. And then lastly, you do get this in the box as well, and this is a 2.4 gigahertz wireless dongle. So yes, this is a multi-platform controller, and you will see when we start looking over everything on here. Yeah, I've already done a video, but let's just take another look at it. So the big giveaway is the buttons. So you got A, B, Y, and X like a Nintendo Switch, which this obviously works for. But if you look in between them, then you've got another set of buttons there, A, B, X, and Y, which is an Xbox layout. And then we can look at the rest of it. So we've got Hall effect sensing joysticks just here. We do have RGB LEDs, which are actually really cool around them, and there are multiple effects that we'll go over. We've got this kind of almost dome style D-pad, which is a clicky D-pad, but I don't dislike it. We then also have a lighting effects button just there. We've got a screenshot button just there. We've got minus and plus, or like start and select if you want. Then this is a BinBok button. So on the Nintendo Switch, that's your home button. So you press this button and it will go home, or if you press and hold it, it brings up the quick menu. And yeah, it's pretty cool that it's got that. Then if we swap it over to the base, you can see the multiple input modes. So we've got switch, wired or Bluetooth. You've got I, which is for iOS, and then you've got D input, which is for the dongle, right? So D for dongly dingly, because that's the official term. And then if we go on to the back, we've got even more stuff. So we've got a 1000 milliamp hour battery, which is about 10 hours of use, says BinBok. We've got some back paddle triggers that are remappable just there. We then have a load of stuff on the back just here. So we've got rumble, we've got macro turbo, then we've got hair trigger mode, Deadzone mode or no Deadzone mode, and then gyro assist, which I really love because on PC, even if the game doesn't even support gyro, you can flip on gyro assist and then you've got gyro. You know, you can just start fine-tuning your aiming or whatever just by moving the controller. It's pretty cool. And now we're on to the top and you can see our triggers, but you've got some extra bumpers on here, or triggers, whatever they are, like extra triggery bumpery things. So we've got our USB-C charge slot just there. We've got our L, R, R2, L2 and all that good stuff. But then we've got L4 and R4 up here, which is some more programmable back paddles, which is awesome. And the other thing about this, which is one of the things that I absolutely loved about the original, is the ergonomics. This thing is absolutely killer. It is huge for a start. It's very large, but look at these horns. Like, look at the sweep down. Like, they've nailed this. They really have actually taken time to consider how a controller feels and fits in your hand. Yes, it is quite large and it feels chunky, but God, it feels premium, it really does. And these super swoopy, massive horns just here, they really rest in your hand, like lovely, you know, your fingers and thumbs just rest perfectly. Like these back paddles just here rest naturally under my middle fingers, but it's all about these horns. Like I can't stress how good this feels. Like this feels so nice. BinBok Play have nailed it with the build quality. The build quality feels so good. Yes, we do have rubber. Some people don't like rubber, but honestly, it aids well with this. Like it feels properly grippy. I can't tell you over time if it's going to start getting sticky or not, which is one of the problems with rubber, but initially this feels lovely. The plastic quality is almost like slightly rubber coated. I can't tell if it is or not, but it's really nice. I think there is a coating on this, but the whole thing screams premium, and even the RGBs look like really cool. They look like tasteful, you know? So I've got my Ally X just here, and I've already paired this up. Super easy to do. I've put it into W mode for wired or Bluetooth, and I've Bluetoothed this over just because I couldn't be bothered to find a USB-C adapter to stick the dongle in, but you could do that obviously with 2.4 gigahertz, and that would be awesome. But you could have this in a dock or anything like that, and you could switch between using this on PC to on Switch or Android or iOS or whatever you want to do. It's pretty sweet that you can just slide the slider and change it over. So now we've got Hall effect sensing joysticks. This means this is not going to drift. So the previous one didn't have Hall effect sensing joysticks, but now it does. So no drift because it's using magnets instead of friction to do the inputs, right? But the other benefit of Hall effect sensing joysticks is better accuracy, lower dead zones, but BinBok Play here, they've included a no dead zone mode. So now we are in Gears of War 5 on the Asus ROG Ally X just here, and that's what I've been testing this on mostly because, you know, I really like the Ally X, as you can probably tell from all the content we've been doing recently. But yeah, in Gears of War 5 just here, we've got a dead zone mode switch on the back. So if you turn it off, it will rumble. If you turn it on, it will rumble. It will always rumble once you've done something, just to say, hey, you've done something right. So with it off, to be honest, they are super quick, but you do notice like a little bit of dead zone. Do you see that? That I'm like just moving the stick and nothing's happening. Whereas if I turn it on and do the same thing, do you see how much more like it's going to actually move just there? So I've been playing FPS games with no dead zone mode on at all times, just because I much prefer the stick to actually work exactly when I want it, not to have like an area of dead zone, you know? So if you don't know what dead zone is, it's just like an area where the joystick won't actually input. So if you moved it like there, nothing will happen. Whereas with no dead zone mode on, you move it to the same point and then he's gonna start looking. So that's what like no dead zone mode is, or what dead zone is, right? A dead zone where no inputs will be registered. So no dead zone mode is a win for this. Some games you might not want it. So I actually like the fact that there's a switch on the back, a physical switch that you can go on, off, rather than having to remember a button config, right? Because that can be annoying, especially if you're using multiple devices. I test so many controllers, I usually forget if I'm going back to a product, but with this one, it's brilliant because I can just go on the back and go, oh yeah, I remember those, you know, so I don't have to remember a button combination. Now on the back as well, I said about that gyro assist, so it's off now. If I turn it on, whoa, do you see this? Right, so I can get the aim up and then I can fine tune it like this. So it actually works really well. It's not like hideously over the top either. So, you know, I can actually play pretty naturally if I stay still. And then if I was gonna aim and I wanted to like aim there and I was gonna headshot, but I just wanted to like just move it a little bit, you know, you can do that. It's not the best gyro, I will say that, but it's enough because you can just put it into any game that you want. But generally, I just leave it off. I just prefer using the sticks. The sticks are so accurate, you don't even really need to use that. However, if you do like the gyro thing, it's there. Now, the other good thing is the far right one, which is hair trigger mode. These are obviously analog triggers, right? Hall effect analog triggers, but they are so quick to actuate anyway. Like you almost don't need like hair trigger mode on, right? But what hair trigger mode does is just put it to full actuation, as if you've depressed the entire stick immediately. So as soon as it detects an input, it will just go to 100%. Whereas with an analog trigger, it will go like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, like, you know, it will go up and up and up until it hits that 100. But if you switch that on, vibrates to say, hey, it's on, and now it's just as if I've pulled it all the way down, even though I'm just like tapping it, right? So another great feature, really, really like that. We've got a rumble button as well, so you can go through the rumble. I've actually liked this 100%. I think there's 4 settings, including off, so there's 3 settings, and it's quite a heavy rumble, but it's nice, deep, low, like a deep rumble, and I like that. It's not tinny and horrible. I actually quite like it. Usually I pull rumble down, but I've just left this at 100%, like, yeah, I like it. And then we've got macro and turbo, right? So turbo, if you don't know what turbo is, let's do A for, you know, him just swiping the knife just there. So I'm gonna press T and A, and now it's vibrated. And if I press and hold it, he's just gonna keep doing that for me. So I don't need to keep spamming the buttons and, you know, degrading the life there. I can just press and hold it and it will just keep going and going and going. If I press T and A again, right, then it's going to turn itself off. It doesn't have anything else. It's just one set, and that's perfectly fine by me. Now we've got macro, right? So you're going to press M and then whatever button it is, let's say this one at the top. So M and press and hold, it's going to vibrate, and you can do a series of inputs, right? And do stuff, whatever, and then press that again, and then it's going to do it for you. See, it even records the inputs of your joysticks as well. So I can press that again, and then he's going to do that series of movements that I've just inputted just there. And if I wanted to clear that, I can press and hold M, or I can press M and that, and then press it again, and now that's cleared it, right? But it is also true button swap. So if I assigned a button, let's say, and you're going to jump, if you reassign that button to one of the back paddles, whether that's on the back just here or on the top, if you tapped it, it would jump short. If you press and hold it, it will jump big. So it's like an actual true button reassign. The other thing I totally forgot to mention is the face buttons are mechanical. So it's got mechanical face buttons, which I love, and they're a bit like dampened. They're not like really in your face clicky, but they've got a 5 million click lifespan, and they are clicky. You can hear it. Ready? So you can hear that they're mechanical, but I love mechanical switches. Much faster to actuate, so you can like spam them faster. You know your input's going to be actually received. I like that a lot. Massive advocate for mechanical switches in game controllers. And then finally, we've got the RGB LEDs. So one click here, I'm going to put it at an angle because my light is hideously bright, right? So one click will just cycle through various single colors. 2 clicks will go on like a sort of like a breathing around, right? Like this, through different colors. Another 2 clicks will then like cycle through the colors, so it will like merge from one color into the next in like a circular motion, right? And that's pretty cool as well if you want that. And you can double click it and it will turn off. Now, if it's on, 1 click will always return to this, but you can press and hold it, and then it will vibrate through different brightnesses until it just goes down to like almost off, and then it will go back to 100% and then bring it back down like this. So that's 100% just there. And of course, if you don't want it on, you just double click until it turns all off like that. Single click brings it back. Really, really cool. So what about the price point? Well, this is coming in at about $57. So I reckon here in the UK, that's probably about £45. I actually think that's really good for a pro controller like this with this spec and this build quality. It's really good. I really think this is BinBok Play's best controller out of everything I've tried, all their Joy-Con alternatives, all their other pro controllers and everything. This is leaps and bounds above the rest that I've tried from them. I really like this controller. I really, really do. If it didn't have BinBok Play like on it and the branding and stuff, and you just gave it to me like unbranded looking, I'd be like, this is a really cool controller. What company is it? If you said BinBok Play, I'd have gone, really? Like, this is really good. Like, I like it a lot. I think for the price point, it's actually decent. If you're looking for like a one-stop controller that can work on all your devices, because this is multi-plat, I actually think it's a decent controller. I'd be more than happy using this like all the time. So I think they've done the best thing by upgrading these to Hall effect sticks now, because that was the only thing that was letting down the previous one. But yeah, now I actually think it's properly worth it to get this. What are your thoughts on the BinBok Play Ultra Pro controller? Let me know down in the comments. Have you got the original one, or are you waiting for a Hall effect one? I don't know, just let me know. Whilst you're down there, like this video, subscribe, become a member so you can see these videos earlier, and also come to our private Discord where you can talk to me and everyone else in there, as well as AJ. And talking of AJ, go and check out our podcast over here, subscribe and check out the videos just there, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.